Hey, Coach. It seemed like a very physical game, and midway through the first half, maybe your guys kind of ratcheted up their physicality. What did you see on that end?
Yeah, I mean, this is a heck of a tournament. We were just talking, all four of these teams can play, and it's physical. I mean, with UCLA and Baylor, that's going to be a heck of a game. And then watching Illinois, they want to play so fast, but yet they're physical. It was hard. But we talked about in the second half, the theme was stand your ground from start to finish, and that means standing your ground in the areas that are important to us. And I thought it was just hard for us early offensively to get looks, and then some guys made some plays, but it was one of those who's going to yield. You always have to say who's going to outlast two. And yeah, certainly good bounces here and there, and guys have to make plays, but they have some young guards, and our experienced guards showed. But I think it was a hard-fought game, and I love seeing the effort. Win or lose, that was there was mistakes on both teams, but guys wanted it. Both teams, and you could feel it. You could feel it in the atmosphere, or in the crowd's atmosphere, and it just had a good feeling. And I was just grateful. And I keep telling our guys, be free, play as hard as you can. You're not gonna be perfect, but be free, because you got a perspective now that you probably didn't have a week ago.
Gina.
Tony, can you kind of put in perspective what this weekend's been like, having something to celebrate today after all the heartbreak that's gone on back home?
It's just momentary.
Yeah.
It feels good for in the moment, and then it's gone, because I'll never forget, as you said that, a quote my father said, and I remember, and I've said it before to you guys, but it feels great in the moment, and but because I think even more so now, we know what truly matters, our families, our faith, appreciating the gift of each day. When you have a momentary celebration like this, it enables you to enjoy it, and it seems to matter, but in the big picture it doesn't. What matters are the things that have been brought front and center, that are real, and so you cling to those things. But when you step between the lines, when you play, when you practice, you get to your routine and you get after it. But your heart and mind is never far from our football team, those families, our staff, everybody around. It's just, and I know tragedies are happening all over the world, and it's just, but it comes to you, it gives you that feeling. But it was a little more emotional for me, I think for those reasons. But if this just for those 2 hours, let some people in Charlottesville and they watch, that's good, and their mind was on that, that's a good thing.
Okay, take one in front.
Tony, what did you guys do to frustrate Terrence Shannon so much?
Well, he was terrific against UCLA, and he's a one-man fast break. He's so explosive in transition. Obviously, shooting, Armand shot so well, and then, he wasn't, I don't know what Armand shot today, his shot wasn't quite there as much. So when your shot's not going, we said, make them earn, let's crowd them a little more. We weren't switching like some of the other teams and just tried to jam the lane. But Reese Beekman really took the challenge. Reese really played well, obviously all tournament, but down the stretch. And Reese is deceptively quick and athletic and hard to get clean looks. And the other guys did their job helping for the most part. So it was just try to bother him, try not to get hurt on the glass, and we were bending but not breaking. And then, again, last 4 minutes, just some things went our way, but guys did execute.
John in the middle.
Coach, you attempted 44 more free throws than your opponents this weekend. Is that part of the game plan? Is that something we should expect to see out of your team the rest of the season?
I think, both of these teams we played switched every off-ball and on-ball screen, or 90-some%. So when that happens, you're gonna get some bigs on smalls, smalls on bigs, and we tried to make a concerted effort to attack when we could or look inside. And they're both so good defensively and so physical. And again, the fact that we got to the line, that's good, because we haven't done that in the past. And yeah, I remember coaching with Coach Ryan, you always talked about, that was a big stat to him, attempted free throws or made free throws versus the other team. So that's good to see, and I hope that'll keep up. And again, our league is really good, and you play against so many different kinds of styles. But this challenged us, and I thought our guys, in light of everything, prepared well and had the right mindset. And so, again, to get to your question, I hope we will be more assertive getting to the free throw line.
Mike.
Tony, you guys, again, were great defensively in the second half, particularly down the stretch, hit a lot of free throws in the second half. Are those areas where the experienced veteran guys that shows up a little more?
Yeah, guard play, our experience with Kihei and Reese and Armand, those guys played. I think, to handle the ball, but sometimes the game comes down to, you gotta go make some plays at times. You try to run good stuff and you get looks, but can you make some plays defensively and offensively while still staying in the structure of your system? And I think our guys did that. And again, sometimes it's just a bounce here or there, guys are missing shots, but I liked what happened, and I thought that charge Armand took was huge. And again, these are 18 to 23 or whatever year olds, and sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. So you try to control as much of the controllables as you can, but they have to go make plays, and that's the beauty of this game.
Gene.
Yeah, Tony, just your general thoughts about the defensive intensity in the last 4 minutes where Illinois had one field goal, like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was good on-ball defense. I mean, that's where Kihei and Reese, they were really trying to stay in front. And again, we made some plays. I'll have to watch the tape, but we haven't the last few years been where we've needed to be defensively. And so I hope this will give us some momentum to understand that's how you win. You defend and you get it to the game. There's always a battle of styles and wills that go on in each game. And we knew what Illinois wanted to do. They knew what we wanted to do. And it was just who's going to establish it and who's going to make stops. We just always talk about stop, score, or at least make them earn, and then go down there and get your looks. And I think it was a 13-4 run or whatever. I'll have to look at it, but I did think we made it hard for them, and maybe some of their inexperience showed too.
Okay, we got time for one more.
Yeah, Tony, you told us in Charlotte that you wanted to test this roster with a tough schedule. I think I know the answer here, but did you get what you wanted out of these 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, this tournament. Remember, some people traveled a long way to convince us to come. They're back there to come to this tournament. And, like, well, it's a long way, it's a long flight, and we're leaving like we're taking a red eye, not flying, well, it's not a commercial red eye, so, but we're taking a red eye, you guys are, sorry. But it was well presented and good people that are running it, and we just said, boy, this field is a good one. And again, you have to, and we got a great schedule coming up, but you want to put yourself in those spots because you learn a lot. And everyone's good for the most part in college basketball, but these games in this setting create a unique environment that is something you want to get to as the season goes on. So absolutely, and it was, again, well run, and I'm glad we did it. And you could go 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2, and you're going to learn a lot, and you're still going to be good because of this competition.